going on, everybody? So just left our local nursery. We got a bunch of holly bushes, one that's like a holly tree, and some rose bushes, and we're currently on a landscaping job that we're doing some rock. We're planting these plants, and then we had to remove a tree. I was going to film the tree for you guys being removed by us, but we got some footage, and the lift would only go up so high where we had to park it. We couldn't get the lift close enough to the tree to get the full length of the lift. We had to park it downhill from the tree some, and it was just a mess. We ended up having to sub out the tree to be removed. So did not get that kind of footage for you guys, but otherwise we're on our way to the job site now. My business partner is getting a stump grinder. We're going to grind some stumps. We're going to plant these plants, and then another day, probably next week, we will put the rock around the flower beds, and that will be also, so you all know, I typically film with an iPhone. Of course, my iPhone is dead today when I need it the most, and I don't know about you guys, but I hate the battery life of an iPhone. I mean, they just suck. I like the camera quality, I like the video quality, and you know, that stuff, but I hate the battery life. So I'm using my personal Android, and I've never really used it for this filming, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know how it's going to sound. But we're just going to roll with it. Alright, let me slow down at this red light here, and I'm going to tell you all how much this exactly costs for what we got. So we got one Red Robin holly, 15-gallon size. We got 6 pink knockout roses, 3 red knockout roses, 3 China Girl hollies, and 4 green boxwoods. And that total was $406, and after taxes it was $420 for all that. I know some of these landscape video people on YouTube, they don't necessarily disclose their pricing or their prices that they paid for stuff, and that was one of the things I always kind of wanted to know, especially when I was starting out or just in general to learn. So I hope this kind of helps you all get an idea of what to expect. It's still a lot cheaper than a big box store like Lowe's or Home Depot. Alright guys, as you can see here, we got the rock delivery guy. He's delivering us, I believe it's 8 tons worth of river rock. We got some smaller stuff, and we got some like something you would find in a river or pond. We got about a ton or 2 of that to use on the outside of the flower bed, like an edger, to make it look natural, because we're kind of out in the middle of the woods in this area. So for 8 tons of this rock delivered, I believe it was close to or a little over $900. And that's 8 tons worth of river rock, which is crazy. Guys, here's the rock. This is not the 8 tons completely. They got to bring another load of the bigger stuff and a little bit more of the little stuff, I believe. So I don't know how many that is, 5 or 6. But it's going to go all the way around this flower bed, around this house, on the sides. It's like a U-shaped flower bed. Alright, so this is the willow tree that we were going to get footage of removing, but we had to get tree service to do it. We just had a heap of problems with the lift. We hit a nail, or I hit a nail, or something metal in the tree, ruined the chain. It's just a nightmare, okay? But here's the stump, pretty good size. We were able to get the trunk so we could grind this up. But I never cut gold before because wood. We gotta get this cut up. We gotta get it hauled off. It's gonna be a pain. And we dug the holes, and we gotta plant some plants in these holes. We used a stump grinder to help dig the holes, make it easier and a little quicker. So hopefully it helps. Hopefully we don't have to dig too much extra. There's a hole over here too. I'm not sure if we're gonna plant something here or not. Yeah, the house is like tomato red, so it's kind of challenged. Guys, let me show you something that we encountered. So, you know, this was one of the first holes we dug with stump grinder, and we didn't notice it. Okay, but let me just show you. Let's see if you can point it out. It's right beside where we planted this rose bush. Now, by now, I'm guessing you've seen it. If not, look at that white line. Almost looks like a hose, but that is schedule something PVC pipe. I don't know if it's a water line from the road. I don't know where the septic is. I don't know anything other than it's PVC pipe under the ground. And it's pretty low. I mean, it's not very deep under the ground. So you always need to be mindful. Call before you dig. Alright guys, so I'm making this little snippet here because I hope these videos are helping you. Like, that's what the whole point of this is, especially to people that are starting out in the business, whether it's landscaping, excavate, you know, whatever you do. Like this main point you just seen in the last clip here. You need to call before you dig, because that could have been bad. We could have punctured that line. It could have caused problems. Water could have, if it was a water line like coming from the road or something like that, you know, water could spew out. It could cause a big mess, set us back in money and then time. And that's something that you don't need, that can easily be prevented. And, you know, the call before you dig thing, we typically do it. This we didn't think we'd need to, just planting some bushes. But that just goes to show that you never know, especially when you're in your own business, you never know what kind of surprises you're going to get. So you need to always be prepared and be alert, okay, of those things. So I hope that gives you a little insight on things you can encounter in the real world. Because I know some of these people on here, they talk, and it's all like you just see them smooth sailing. They don't hardly ever show a problem or a challenge they face. They might just talk about it, but they don't actually show what they come across a lot of times. So I'm hoping this is helping you guys. If it is, let me know. Be sure to subscribe, and I thank each and every one of you that have. Thank you. Okay, so it's coming along good. We got some rose bushes, some boxwoods planted throughout. There's our huge pile that we're doing with shovels, which I do not advise. Guys, I would spend the extra money and not be cheap, especially if you're doing it by yourself. I would go get a skid steer or one of them front loader tractors. Rent one of those for like $250, $350, somewhere in that range. But yeah. So now we're using real plastic. We're not. It's like a roofing type plastic. It prevents the weeds the best, we feel like, over fabric. Okay, so here's our holly bushes that we planted in the holly tree. We just took some of the sawdust chips and put around it for mulch. What's up, guys? Today is the final day of that rock job. What we're doing now, we're all done. What we're going to be doing today is just hauling off the excess rock because somebody ordered way too much, I believe, or they just gave us too much. But we have a huge amount still left over and really nowhere else to put it. So we got to haul that off, and we're going to get ready and head that way. And when we get there, I'll film what it looks like all done. Alright guys, so we're finally done here. This is the little island we did. We didn't have enough to go all the way to the bottom, but we did complete it. Sorry about the lighting. The way the sun's facing us right now, there's just no way really to get better lighting. I've tried with the angles, but that's the island. And then if you come over here, We did a little pathway. They bought the pavers. We just added them into the pathway, and then we hooked over from this side of their house and went around. And we didn't make it a complete, straight flower bed. We kind of added some little wave texture into it. I don't like straight lines on flower beds. I don't. I feel like that's just too plain. I like to add a little curve to it. But yeah, it turned out really good. Again, sorry about the lighting, but there's a lot of dirt and mud still on this that has to dry out. That's the thing with River Rock. You'll get it, and it looks good once it's all dried. Like some of that, you can see right there, the whitish colored rock. When that gets dry, it really looks good. Guys, that's it pretty well. We just went around the house. It was about 6 to 9 tons, I believe. But guys, I just want to thank you for watching. I hope you've learned a few things maybe from this. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Finally, we can go home. I've been here so long.